Chicago Fire's latest cast exit makes the season 13 finale even more frustrating. A third Chicago Fire cast member is on their way out the door, and their exit just reinforces the disappointment felt by the season 13 finale. The NBC procedural drama TV series is no stranger to cast departures over the course of its 14-season run. However, when three actors leave back-to-back-to-back, it's difficult not to feel slighted by Chicago Fire. A month before the Chicago Fire season 13 finale, reports disclosed that Jake Lockett, who played Sam Carver, and Daniel Keary, who played Darren Ritter, would leave the show. Their exits were a result of budget cuts, and many assumed they would have to bid adieu to more characters in the One Chicago universe. The latest exit came about unexpectedly, though. According to Soaps.com, Michael Bradway will no longer be a part of the Chicago Fire cast. The actor who played Jack Damon, Kelly Severide's half-brother, plans to leave the series ahead of the upcoming season 14 premiere. However, it doesn't appear that Bradway's departure can be attributed to budget cuts from NBC. He has a scheduling conflict. Bradway was cast to play Charlie Florek in Prime Video's TV series adaptation of Carly Fortune's popular romance book, Every Summer After, Every Year After. As such, Chicago Fire is losing another important member of Firehouse 51 ahead of season 14. Production of Every Year After has already begun, meaning Bradway won't be available to film the upcoming Chicago Fire episodes. Bradway's exit in and of itself is disappointing, but the fact that it comes after an underwhelming episode for his Chicago Fire character makes it all the more frustrating. Nothing remarkable happened to Damon in the NBC procedural drama season 13 finale, failing to set up his goodbye to Firehouse 51. Consequently, Damon's fate in season 14 is unclear. The writers might not have known that Bradway was leaving the One Chicago show at that point, but the lack of closure is aggravating nonetheless. Bradway won't return to see Damon off. Therefore, Chicago Fire season 14 will have to write the firefighter out of the series with him off-screen. The same goes for Carver and Ritter, given the events of the season 13 finale. Like Damon, Ritter was hardly in the Chicago Fire season 13 finale. The episode never indicated that Ritter was leaving, and if someone didn't hear about Kyrie's exit, they would believe that his character was returning for season 14. Meanwhile, Carver planned to move to Denver, but he declared his love for Violet McCamey and kissed her during the finale's closing moments. Chicago Fire showrunner Andre Newman previously indicated that season 14 would continue exploring Carver and Violet's romance, despite Jake Lockett's exit as a series regular. She told NBC Insider, "We may have Lockett for a bunch of season 14 too, and I think there's a lot left to figure out between Violet and Carver." All in all, the Chicago Fire season 13 finale did very little to prepare the audience for Carver, Ritter, and Damon's exits. Given that they likely won't return, except for Carver, who some speculate will have a recurring role in season 14, their departures must be explained in one-off comments. Carver, Ritter, and Damon are important characters, though who deserve better. The Chicago Fire writers must make do with what they have and figure out a way to write Damon out of the show without Bradway. Perhaps the worst thing they could do is kill Damon off. Severide doesn't need that kind of heartbreak, especially with a kid on the way. It also doesn't make sense to fire Damon from Firehouse 51 for a second time. Unfortunately, the one explanation that makes the most sense, but doesn't really at all, is for Damon to transfer to another fire station ahead of Chicago Fire season 14. Perhaps his will-they/won't they romance with Lizzie Novak ended poorly, causing Damon to want a change of scenery. Or he could just get a good job opportunity somewhere else. But Broadway might be busy if Prime Video adapts One Golden Summer, Carly Fortune sequel to Every Summer. After that focuses on Charlie, Broadway's character. After Every Year After concludes. Whatever the case, it seems like the NBC procedural drama plans on leaving the door open for Damon's potential return. So fans shouldn't expect him to die. Instead, Damon will leave Firehouse 51 for one reason or another. However, Chicago Fire Season 14 should make it possible for him to come back, meaning closure isn't a guarantee. Broadway reprising his role as Damon in upcoming episodes of Chicago Fire isn't a guarantee either. Yes, he could return. But Broadway might be busy if Prime Video adapts One Golden Summer, Carly Fortune sequel to Every Summer. After that focuses on Charlie, Broadway's character. After Every Year After concludes. Only time will tell what happens to Damon in Chicago development that has left Chicago Fire fans reeling. NBC officially confirmed today that another major cast member will not be returning for Season 14, and the timing couldn't be worse. Just days after the explosive Season 13 finale aired, the news has thrown the entire fandom into turmoil, as it dramatically changes the interpretation of the emotional final episode. The cast member in question, none other than Daniel Carey, who plays firefighter Darren Ritter, a fan favorite since his introduction back in Season 7. Known for his compassionate nature, moral backbone, and loyalty to Engine 51, Ritter's quiet strength and evolving confidence made him a natural anchor for many emotionally charged moments. The announcement of his departure, confirmed through a joint statement by Carey and series showrunner Andrea Newman, has left fans questioning the creative direction of the show heading into Season 14. A quiet exit, but a loud impact. The statement reads, "It has been an honor to bring Darren Ritter to life over the past 6 seasons. I'm incredibly grateful for the friendships, memories, and the opportunity to be part of a show that has meant so much to so many. While it's time for me to explore new creative endeavors, Ritter's legacy will always be a part of me." Daniel Carey. Fans were quick to point out that Ritter's screen time had been noticeably reduced throughout Season 13. However, no one anticipated this would be the end of his journey, especially given the emotional arc he was building with fellow firefighters and his newly rekindled romantic storyline that was barely beginning to bloom. The Season 13 finale, a whole new meaning. The final episode, titled Ashes in the Wind, ended on a dramatic cliffhanger. Firehouse 51 responded to a dangerous multi-building fire in a South Side industrial district. In a frantic last-minute sequence, Ritter was shown splitting from the main group to search for a missing child in a collapsing warehouse. As explosions echoed and thick smoke filled the screen, the final shot showed Chief Bowden screaming Ritter's name as part of the roof gave way. Initially, viewers assumed this was a classic Chicago Fire move, a high-stakes cliffhanger designed to keep fans guessing during the hiatus. But with today's announcement, the implications are more heartbreaking. Ritter's off-screen death or a catastrophic injury now seems not just possible but likely. "I was waiting for the dust to settle," one fan posted on Reddit. "Now it feels like they killed him off without telling us, and then pulled the rug out after we watched the finale. That's so unfair." Fans and cast react. Longtime fans of the show have expressed both grief and anger at the exit. Social media platforms exploded with messages of support for Carey, but also frustration at the show's handling of his departure. Some pointed out that Ritter, as one of the few LGBTQ+ characters on the series, represented vital visibility, and his loss feels especially significant. Several cast members also posted emotional tributes. David Eggenberg, Christopher Herman, wrote on Instagram, "Daniel, you brought heart, wit, and so much humanity to every scene. Gonna miss our scenes together, brother. Hanako Greensmith, who plays Violet Mikami and shared many scenes with Ritter, shared a throwback photo with Kyrie on set with a caption, "Forever 51. Always my ride or die." Behind-the-scenes drama. While NBC and the showrunners are presenting the departure as amicable, rumors of behind-the-scenes tension have started to surface. A source close to the production claimed that Kiri was unhappy with the lack of meaningful storylines this season. He was constantly being sidelined, the insider alleged. He spoke up about it more than once. There was growing tension about the creative direction for Ritter's character. Neither Kiri nor the network has confirmed these reports, but the narrative has only further fueled fans' frustration, especially given how other characters have been given expanded arcs while Ritter faded into the background. What's next for Season 14? The show has a history of shocking exits. From Otis' heartbreaking death in Season 8 to Brett's romantic departure this year. But Ritter's potential off-screen exit during a finale is being widely criticized. Fans are now demanding closure. Don't leave us hanging, another tweet read. We need to see what happened to Ritter. Don't bury it in a throwaway line next season.